I'm Brian Graham, chair of the Fairfax County Democratic Committee. And we had some questions after our straw poll yesterday, so I wanted to give a quick explanation of how we get winners in multiple winner elections with ranked choice voting. The process we use for counting ballots at the straw poll is called single transferable vote. This is the most common method for choosing multiple winners in a single ranked choice voting election. It's called a single transferable vote because really voters only have one vote, and the excess of their vote that is going to a winner is transferred to their subsequent choices. So we'll see that how that actually works in our example using the straw poll data. So of course the straw poll is a mock election and its results are not binding, but the way that it works is a threshold is determined. And the threshold is the number of votes divided by the number of winners plus one. So it really works out to 25% of the vote. If someone has just over 25% of vote, they are considered a winner. And that's the purpose of single transferable vote, is to have a more proportional system where you don't have one single voting block dominating the process. You can see in the first round in our example of the straw poll, Mr. Moon had higher than that threshold. So Mr. Moon is endorsed. And then the excess of those votes, so that's the votes that are in addition to 42.75. So that leaves 33-ish votes that are proportionally or fractionally moved to the second choices on those ballots. So all of Mr. Moon's ballots, their second choices, will then get a fraction of the result. And we'll see how that works here. So that's the counterintuitive thing about single transferable vote, is you see someone's vote total go down, not up, because the excess vote is kind of sliced off and reallocated or transferred to the next folks. So you can see here that in the second round, the threshold is lowered to 40.78, and Mr. McDaniel has exceeded that threshold, so he is endorsed. And the excess of his vote will be siphoned off and sent on to additional folks as well. Mr. Muneer is in last place, so his votes are then reallocated, like you see in a normal ranked choice voting, to his second choice votes. And we see those fly around. We have some exhausted votes now. We have some other folks increasing their votes. We have Mr. Lewis is the next one out, so his votes get reallocated as well. And the threshold continually gets lowered. And at this point, Mr. Webb has exceeded the threshold, as have Mr. Moon and Mr. McDaniel. The correct way to explain these results is that Mr. Moon was the first endorsed, Mr. McDaniel was the second endorsed, and Mr. Webb was the third endorsed. And you don't really look at those vote totals because those are transferred votes, not total vote. So little confusing, and I think that's where a lot of the confusion came. And now I'm going to explain how this is going to actually work in the FCDC endorsement this year. There's not really a term for this unique process that FCDC came up with. Our intent was to try to calculate the highest potential voting power, not create proportionality of blocks. We basically are applying the normal instant runoff voting to have a single winner, but we're doing successions of that. So I'm calling that S-IRV. We'll see if that sticks. In the first succession, in the first round, we have everyone allocated to their first choice, and no one has met the threshold of 50% plus one. So just getting over 50% of the voters would be 85.5. No one has that. So the lowest voter here, Mr. Muneer, his votes are going to get reallocated to their second choices, right? So now there are no exhausted ballots here, so the vote totals have gone up. The threshold has not gone down. No one has been a winner in this race yet. And we will remove the last person here now, who is Mr. Lewis. His 18 votes get reallocated. You can see on the bottom, some of those ballots did not have any other options on them. So that lowers the threshold. The threshold then is 82. Mr. Moon has now exceeded 86 votes, and he is our first endorsed candidate. So in the second succession, we're going to take Mr. Moon's votes, all of his first place votes, and send them to the second place choice on those ballots. We're going to see that happen here. And you can see that 18 of those ballots were only Mr. Moon on a single first choice. But you can see that the threshold is gone, and I'll go through this again. We'll see how this works. And eventually we get to Kyle McDaniel exceeding the threshold here. So he ends up being the second person endorsed in this process in the second succession. And when we head into the third succession, Mr. Moon and Mr. McDaniel's votes have already been reallocated, and some of them have been exhausted. And we go through that same process again. and until we get to the last succession, the last round, where Mr. Webb has exceeded the threshold and ends up being the third person endorsed. The results end up being the same, but we'll see if that actually happens when the endorsement happens in May. And I hope this explanation was helpful. Thank you.